right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna look at Mr. Gottman Locke's video. He is a Jewish rabbi, I believe. I'm not really aware of the Judaism religion fully. I mean, I understand it's an Adamic religion. That's the first one that came, and the rest of them they just made up of some additional stuff to what initially came through the Jews. Okay, so let's look at Mr. Gottman's what he's gonna discuss. He's gonna show some problems with yoga, and we're gonna see what it is. During this video, I will stop this video a few times to add my personal comments to show where misguiding is happening. Let's begin.
Adam, I'm so glad to meet you. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
I heard you in Thailand.
Yes, I
How
was.
long were you there?
2 years.
Amazing. What was it like? What were you doing?
I was studying yoga and meditation.
You're a good guy. You could really help me some way. What did you like about yoga?
I liked that it helped me understand that there was more to life than just what we can see.
You're doing yoga. Now what about the other things they tried to give you, like the idols and stuff like that? What did you do about that?
I kept
Okay, by the way, when you're doing yoga, there's nothing called giving you idols and this and that. First of all, you don't even know what is idol worshipping and what is idols and all that stuff. I mean, your religion began with the confusion of not understanding the idols and all that. So we can make another video for what actually is the idols that we're speaking about. So it's a lot more scientific than your bogus religion, by the way.
kept my distance from a lot of the philosophical concepts.
Pushed it away, right? Okay. But did you learn about pranayama? Prana? What's prana?
It's an energy.
And what energy?
It's called the vital energy of the universe.
Vital energy of the universe. When they meditate, it's a custom for them to touch their thumbs to their forefingers like that, to keep the prana from leaving their body and draining them. We call the vital energy of the universe God. He's the life of our world.
Okay, now we can agree on to some stuff. I mean, the vital energy of the universe is Krishna, is Vishnu. You know, that's the sustaining energy that keeps everything alive. Basically, Vishnu is the sustaining energy, and the soul part is Krishna. That's why Krishna is the ultimate, because he is the soul, the main energy that has the whole universe alive because of that energy. So that energy is called God, is called life. So pranayama, prana means life. Okay, I don't know why I had to go round and round. It's a one word definition, and it's called life. So you don't have to go all the way, oh, this is the ultimate energy of the universe or something like chill out, man. Did you really go to India? Did you really learn yoga? Or, oh yeah, it's true, you've been keeping yourself away from the philosophy of yoga. That's why you don't even understand what's going on. Alright, now I understand the bogus answers.
And we teach you don't have to hold your finger to your thumb to hold them in your body. Did you hear about Kundalini?
Yes.
What's that?
I heard about it, but I didn't study it. I'm not exactly sure.
It's
what
the
it is.
chakras.
The chakras? You hear about the chakras? What are they?
They're energy centers on the body.
In the body. And how many of them in the body?
6.
And the one on top is 7.
7.
Right. And what happens is that when you do Kundalini yoga, or do yoga, that energy rises up and goes to each chakra and makes something happen until you go out the top. They try to attain God realization through raising the Kundalini. The Kundalini power is also called the serpent power. They say that you'll have God realization, you'll see that you're God, you won't die. There's someone in the Bible that says exactly the same thing.
Really?
In the Garden of Eden.
So, why is he talking about Bible? I mean, is it not saying the same thing in the Jewish religion? I mean, I don't know, man. This is kind of bogus. Of course, I don't believe in these monotheistic religions. I mean, I definitely think they are the worst curse to this world. Now let's see what he is saying. It's that in the Bible you have this snake that they talk about. So I know about the story a little bit. So it's basically when God made Adam and Eve, he led them in the Garden of Eden or something like that, and then God said not to eat a certain fruit, which is an apple, and there was a snake that came and that was able to actually make these humans do things against the will of God. You see the difference between Hinduism and your Judaism or Christianity is that Hinduism will believe everything that happens, it happens because God wants it to happen. If God did not want it to happen, it would not happen. So if one day Hinduism is gone from the face of this earth, it was God's desire. That's what God wanted. So it happened. We're not stronger than nature. Okay, so if we are talking about that energy within us as leading us, so that energy is within the snake, is within the humans, which were like Adam and Eve. They also contain that soul, which is the energy of God. It's called life, and that's present in every single living being. As soon as there is life, there is God within that, because there's a soul. Okay, so that's the view of Hinduism.
The serpent.
Wow.
The serpent says this to Eve. If you eat of that fruit, you'll realize that you're like God, you won't die. We call it the serpent too. But we say don't go by that guy.
Wow.
So we say the serpent's a bad guy, they say it's a good guy. There are a lot of things that they do there that we say are not right. But the problem is when you do yoga, which is physically okay, you also get these concepts with it. You can't help. They come with it. The New York tax department had a court case with the yoga studios, and they decided that the yoga studios do not have to pay taxes. Why?
I think that's the main problem, because they're Jews and they see, a Hindu organization or some Hindu activity is not being taxed.
So even in New
I think
York
that's
City,
the
where
main
they're just
problem.
teaching physical yoga, they still have the reputation for historically teaching meditative process. Oxford University Press put out a collection of information on religions, and they have 3 PhDs from different studies, doctors of philosophy, that came and gave over their conclusions. And they decided, they said that the primary vehicle for the spreading of Hinduism today is the practice of yoga. So we see even the people that are practicing innocently, like you did, are still getting Hinduisms into their system.
Yeah, but what's wrong with Hinduism here? We're gonna pause this. Okay. So what's wrong with that? I mean, Hinduism is not a religion like your, Judaism is. I mean, it could be a Hindu and it could be a Jew at the same time. What you don't understand about Hinduism, there's nothing called Hinduism. I mean, it's important to recognize what we're saying. I mean, Hindus are a certain kind of people that have a certain ideology, that have a way of living. And within the Hinduism, there's not one way of being. There's like many ways of being. What does that mean? That means God is not restrictive in Hinduism. The Hindu God is more of open-minded, kind, natural God. You know what I mean? Who actually loves all his creatures. You know what I'm saying? He does not hate for example, the Jewish God. He hates me because I'm Hindu, and he's going to send me to hell, and he's going to burn me and stuff like that. You see, Krishna is not going to send you to hell because you didn't believe in Krishna and you believed in another version of God. You will only be judged based on your actions. So if you do good deeds and you're not even a Jewish or you don't follow any religions, and if there is a heaven that exists in Hinduism, we don't believe there is actually a heaven, like you guys do, because we believe you do good or bad or stuff like that. When you're doing good, if your soul is being free, that means it's being free from the rebirth cycle. Okay, so that's what it is. I mean, I don't know why we have to misrepresent, because I think there's a fear among these people about speaking the truth, about Hinduism. They have a fear of losing their own people. And let's go forward.
Is that the highest light possible in visions is blue, the color blue, the top of the high chakra. The Zohar Chadash says all colors and visions are good, except blue. Watch out for it, it's the lowest light.
Okay, so let's look at that. I mean, I never heard of that. That in yoga, when you're enlightened, the highest light is blue. I mean, I don't know where it came from. I mean, I am sure if he made a video somewhere along the line, he probably found this and he probably is saying that. So let's make a theory based on what he just said, because and it's very simple, because if you reach the blueness or the darkness, that means what? That means you have reached the point of beginning. Okay, so before this whole universe came to be, before our sun was born, everything was dark. As a matter of fact, there was nothing at all. It's called Shiva. What Shiva is? Shiva means emptiness. Okay, when there is nothing at all, the space itself is Shiva. Okay, so that's what it is. So if you attain that light, and it's the dark light or whatsoever, it means you have attained Shiva. Okay, now you're in touch with that Shiva spirit that is out there. And how could it be bad? I mean, you cannot say Shiva is evil or bad because it's the dark light. I mean, before anything came, Shiva was there. Okay, so before dinosaurs or this universe or whatever came to be, there was an empty space, and that's called Shiva. And if through yoga you attain that light, for example, because I don't know what he's talking about, if you really attain that light, that means, based on what he just said, that, and what I can understand of Hinduism, is that it's basically, you're probably talking about attaining that dark light, meaning you're really going to the point, the beginning point, and that is spirituality. Okay, so let's go forward, because he's going to say a lot of bogus as well.
You must pray hard not to see it. So what's my point? You've learned concepts, and nobody's been able to straighten them out for you. Even though the physical bending of yoga might be perfectly all right, if you're a rubber tube.
Oh, he's going to say something really bogus right now. Watch.
So one of the yoga postures is called Salutation to the Sun. Have you heard that?
I've heard that.
The real name still today in India is Worshipping the Sun. But they translate it this way so that...
Okay, so let's look at this. Ask any Indian person. The gesture or that specific meditation is called Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar means salutation. Okay, so what he just said over there, like worshipping the sun, that's bogus. And worship in your eyes and ours is not the same thing. Worshipping means showing respect. In Christianity, Islam, Judaism, only God is worthy of respect, nobody else. So that means you don't even respect me as a human being, let alone all the living creatures in this world. I mean, definitely we don't respect living creatures. The way we are killing animals, like millions of animals are being killed every day for us, causing us a lot of health problems in return as well. So let's not go there. We could make another video about that. But what he just said is it's a bogus lie, because Surya Namaskar does not mean worshipping of the sun. If worshipping of the sun is Namaskar, then we worship every living being. Okay, so we're much more open-minded. Instead of worshipping only an energy or God that we have never seen, we want to be thankful to those who are there to help us. If one day I'm hungry and I have no food, and a person comes and gives me food, I thank that person. And being thankful is the worship part here. Okay, and based on what you just explained, a Jewish person would never be grateful to another who has helped him. He's going to say, oh no, God has sent him to me. Yeah, shut the fuck up, guy. God has sent nobody to you. It's a human being or another being that came to you and gave you something. So be thankful. You know what I mean?
The Westerns would be turned off. Did they teach you about detachment?
They did.
If somebody with the Eastern philosophy goes out in the woods and they see a beautiful flower and they love it very, very much, what would they do?
They would try not to be affected by its beauty.
They would leave it. If a Westerner would go see that flower and he loved it very much, what would he do?
You might pick it.
He take it. If a Jew would go see that flower, what would he do? He would give it some water. And that's our job. Our job is not to leave.
Okay, so let's break down. Okay, don't take me wrong. I'm just gonna go based on his concept that he just said. So we're gonna speak of the Hindu at the end, but let's look at the Western person. Okay, the Westerner. They say that the Westerner is gonna pick the flower. It's fine because the Westerner lives by desire. Okay, so the Westerner, he does what he likes to do. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. It could be destructive because at a certain point, just because he wants something, you shouldn't just do it. Okay, so that's a Westerner who lives by desire. Then we look at the Jew. This is the most foolish person in the world ever, because he's gonna go and put water to the flower. Okay. Did you know that the water is available on ground, and if the flower is living and if it looks beautiful, that means it is well fed already and it is there the way it is supposed to be. Okay? By being the Jew, you're actually going against nature. Nature has a destiny for that flower. Alright? So if that flower is going to live or that flower is going to die. So nature is more strong than us. So it makes total sense for a Hindu not to affect nature. Let nature be the way it should be. Okay, so if, for example, you send a Jew to a jungle and a tiger is hunting a deer, the freaking Jew is going to go and kill the tiger and save the deer. He's going to think that he's really taking care of nature. But he's disbalancing nature. Ask any scientist, he will tell you. Why do you see documentaries on TV where they're actually showing you hunting and they're not interfering with it? Because it's important to let nature be on its, be the way it is meant to be. You're not supposed to interfere with nature. Alright, so I thank you once again for showing that the Hindu yogi is a lot higher in spirituality and philosophy than any Judaism or any Christianity thought. Because if that's what you guys think, then you are really bogus.
Leave the world. Our job is to make the world a better place.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
How do you make a world a better place? Play your role. Don't try to play another being's role. You are saying that God has created this nature for you. But did you know you are nothing comparing to nature? Okay, nature itself is the universe. The whole universe is nature. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to take care of everything? Like, what are you talking about, man? Listen, only thing you should be doing is make sure you're not harming anyone. Because of you, there is no harm done, and you cause the least damage possible. That's dharma. That's functionality. Okay, so definitely, I hope at least I was able to point out the misguidance of this guy, Gutman Locks. No guts.